안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-travel, K-womance power, K-everything. And joining me this Friday is my co-host Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. Happy Friday, Soa.
Happy Friday.
And happy Friday to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella here to co-host and fill you guys in with K-entertainment news. But Soa, before we get started, did you say K-woman's power?
Yes, I did. It's kind of, we were discussing actually, is that kind of what represents us? I don't know.
Are we like more like sisterhood?
Yeah, kind of. But womance, that's a trending word these days. It's the combination of woman and romance. It's not necessarily like a romance relationship, but it's the female equivalent to bromance.
Right.
And this is actually themed a lot in K-contents recently. So we're going to talk about that with our Professor Ji-Hae-won later in this show. But first, it's Bella time, which means K-entertainment news. So Bella, yesterday you reported on NewJeans returning to their agency ADOR, and you've got updates on that.
That's correct. All 5 members of NewJeans have announced their intention to return to their agency ADOR. As a result, the ruling stating that the exclusive contracts between NewJeans and ADOR remain valid has been finalized, as the 5 members did not file an appeal. Prior to their announcement, 4 members and their guardians actually met with ADOR to communicate on the requirements regarding their return. The other NewJeans member was abroad at the time. While ADOR did acknowledge the meeting took place, the company did not disclose the details of the discussions. Amid this, former ADOR CEO Hee-jin expressed support for the group's decision to return. Min said in an official statement that she respects and supports their decision and choice, and she also emphasized that NewJeans must be kept together, fully protected as 5-member group, and asked fans to welcome the returning members warmly. Now NewJeans and ADOR are at a point where they're discussing their comeback, so hopefully we can see them very soon.
Yes, so please keep us updated on their resumption of their activities.
Right.
Now, Bella, we're going to talk about a boy band from a major Korean entertainment company, but they are active in the UK.
You are definitely correct. SM Entertainment's first British boy band, Dear Alice, recently wrapped up their first concert series. The concerts were held in London, Manchester, Newcastle, and Cardiff in late October. Dear Alice is a 5-member band that debuted back in February through a partnership between Kakao Entertainment and British entertainment company Moon and Back. The band's formation was chronicled in the BBC One series Made in Korea, The K-pop Experience. Dear Alice have released songs like Ariana, Sweet, and Save Us. And they also actually performed at SM Town Live 2025 concert back in June.
Well, what an interesting collaboration, and hopefully we get to see them soon in Korea too.
Yeah.
And last but not least, let's talk about an upcoming film.
Actor Lee Kwang-soo is bringing his real-life persona to the big screen in the upcoming film Love Barista, or 나 혼자 프린스 in Korean. He will be playing an Asia Prince role, a nickname he actually earned across Southeast Asia. And this film, Love Barista, is a comedy romance film about Asia's Prince Kang Jun-woo, who is left alone in a foreign land without a manager, passport, and a single penny. The film was not just set in Vietnam, but was also co-produced with the Vietnamese studio. Love Barista will be released in theaters on November 19th.
It's incredible how popular he is in Southeast Asia. I mean, maybe it's because of his strong features, and also he's very tall. I actually saw him in person, and he really is tall, looks like a model. Yes. And yeah, I would really love to see how different or similar his character in the film is to his real character.
I know, me too.
Well, thank you very much for those updates, Bella, and stick around.
Will do.
And now let's go over to our AI anchor, Arirang, for more on the culture front here in Korea. Arirang?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The Korea Heritage Service has designated around 194,000 square meters surrounding Jongmyo in downtown Seoul as a new World Heritage District. This comes amid loud controversy over a planned high-rise across from Jongmyo, Korea's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. The designation requires that any nearby construction undergo impact assessments. The agency plans to complete the designation process by next month and urge Seoul City to conduct a World Heritage Impact Review for its high-rise project. It says it will also seek legal ways to restrict tall buildings around the site, if necessary. Last month, the Supreme Court upheld Seoul City's decision to raise the permitted building height across Dongmyo to 142 meters. The Gyeongju National Museum's special exhibition featuring gold crowns from the Silla dynasty has been extended through February 22nd, next year. The exhibition showcases 20 iconic Silla artifacts, including all 6 gold crowns that have been put together for the first time in over a century. The show drew feverish media attention last month when President Lee gifted a replica of a Silla gold crown to U.S. President Donald Trump during their summit in Gyeongju. Visitors have been lining up even before opening hours, prompting the museum to cap weekday attendance at 2,550 people per day. An online reservation system will be introduced next week to better accommodate visitors. Movie theaters, performances, exhibitions, and theme parks are all rolling out special promotions for students who have completed the college entrance exam, arguably the biggest exam of their lives. The 3 major multiplex chains are offering 7,001 tickets, while Everland and Lotte World are providing all-day passes in the 20,001 range. The National Museum of Korea is also giving exam takers a 20% discount for popular exhibitions. Various musicals, concerts, and other stage performances have also introduced special promotions, giving students a well-deserved break after the exam. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
In the mountains of Jeju Island, there is a hidden lava cave formed some 20,000 years ago by an eruption on Hallasan Mountain. Gurin-gul Cave, which has long had restricted access, is now being opened to the public for the first time and is drawing great attention. Hee-jin tells us the details.
Hidden deep in the forest at an altitude of around 700 meters on Hallasan Mountain is Gurin-gul Cave. Along the mountain's Gwaneumsa Trail, this lava cave was left behind from an eruption roughly 20,000 years ago. With a total length of 442 meters and a maximum height of 7 meters, this cave is a sculpture carved by nature. Its entrance, measuring about 2 meters wide, is surrounded by moss-covered rock, giving off a stillness as if time had stopped. Rapidly descending lava cooled and solidified along steep slopes, making Gurin-gul Cave distinctly different from most caves found on Jeju.
Gurin-gul Cave here was formed by lava that flowed from Baeknokdam Lake some 20,000 years ago. It's smaller in size than the coastal lava tubes, but what makes it remarkable is how the traces of the lava flow from the time it was formed have been clearly preserved.
In celebration of it being Visit Jeju Heritage Year 2025, Jeju Island opened this mysterious high-altitude lava cave of Hallasan to the public for the first time on November 5th.
It has piqued the curiosity of many hikers because it's located right next to Gwaneumsa Trail. Access to it was restricted because it lies along an unauthorized trail. But this year, as part of the Visit Jeju Heritage Year campaign, we're offering limited access through a reservation system.
Holding within it the passage of 20,000 years, Gurin-gul Cave of Hallasan finally reveals its mysterious interior, a space where nature and history quietly breathe together. Hee-jin, Arirang News.
Recently, K-content has seen a noticeable increase in stories centered around womance, relationships, and solidarity between women. The word womance is a portmanteau of the words woman and romance, just like the male equivalent bromance or brother or bro plus romance. You probably have seen more of those bromance bonds in Korean media, be it in dramas, films, or entertainment shows. But recently, womance content has been establishing itself as a distinct trend. Let's discuss how these female-led narratives are evolving with Professor Hee-jin at Kyunghee University. Welcome back, Professor T.
Hi, Professor.
Hello, good afternoon.
So let's start off with a recently released series on Netflix. It's called As You Stood By, but in Korean, 당신이 죽였다 sounds a little more scary because if you would translate that into English, it would be you have killed him or her. So as we can hear from the Korean title, it actually revolves around a murder, but it also tells a story of a woman experiencing domestic violence. So she conspires with a friend to conduct murder. So there are also similarities drawn to Thelma and Louise. So could you tell us a little bit more about the story?
Okay, As You Stood By, 당신이 죽였다 is a new Netflix series which was released on November 7th, so last week. So its central theme is solidarity between women and the undeniable violence they face. Therefore, it shares similarities with the iconic feminist film Thelma and Louise you just mentioned. However, As You Stood By tells stories about women who have persistently exposed to domestic violence but are not able to confront it in the context of traditional Korean society and personal background. So this series is based on the Japanese novel Naomi and Kanako. So it's transferred to the Korean society, the backgrounds. So Unsu, who lives with the trauma of domestic violence from her childhood, learns that her old friend Hisu is being abused by her husband. So, and together they decided to kill Hisu's husband and join forces to rescue her from her desperate life. So they face many variables along the way, but with the help of their assistant Jin Sajang in the series, they pay the price for their crimes and they successfully reclaim their lives. So As You Stood By delivers the value of women's friendship, family, and self-sustained lives.
It sounds very interesting because I'm especially very curious in those criminal or crime-related films.
Right.
So I will definitely check it out series, yes.
You should.
I remember that Bella actually introduced us to the series as well.
So I watched the trailer before and it sounds it looks very interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
And much like As You Stood By, we have another film. We want to talk about another film that's with two women lead characters, right?
Also a series, right?
Right. It's You and Everything Else, unveiled, right? Which is actually getting a lot of attention because of the chemistry between two actresses, Kim Go-eun and Park Ji-hyun. And the film evolves around friendship and also, jealousy, love, growth, and change through each other. So what would you say is so unique about this series?
Yeah, You and Everything Else, 은중과 상연 is also Netflix series, and it also tells the life story about the two female friends released in last September. So 은중과 상연, 은중 and 상연 are friends since their childhood, but they have very different family backgrounds and personalities. So, however, this difference makes them both more attracted to each other and more uncomfortable at the same time. So this series delicately portrays the tensions of jealousy and loyalty in family friendship and depicts the complex relationship as they share the variable moments in lives from their teenage years to in the 1990s to their 20s, 30s, and 40s as well. So of course the relationship between Unjung and Sangyeon also includes their families and lovers and other friends, but this series more focuses on the emotions and relationship between two friends, two women, and well portray their lives as friends and rivals at the same time, and love-hate life partners.
I think it is easier to show intricate friendships through women because I don't want to be biased or so, but usually they say that women's friendships are a little bit more complex than brothers, like male and male friendships, right? So yeah, and especially with these great actings by Kim Go-eun and also Park Ji-hyun. And now moving on to a movie this time, and this is titled Project Y, and I'm really looking forward to this one because there are some of my favorite actresses there, starring Han So-hee and Jeon Jong-seo.
Right.
So this movie has yet to be released to the public. However, it already took home the award for Best Film in Competition at the 10th London East Asia Film Festival.
Right.
So what kind of womanship can we see in this movie?
Right. Project Y is a little different from the other two. So it is a film, and it is a crime noir film, and its release date has not confirmed yet. But as you just mentioned, this film has already received much attention as it was invited to multiple international film festivals such as London East Asia Film Festivals, Toronto International Film Festivals, and Busan International Film Festival as well. So it tells the story of Mi-sun, played by Han So-hee, and Do-kyung, played by Jeon Jong-seo, who dream of ordinary, peaceful lives working at a flower shop during the day, and at night they work at the nightclubs to save money to escape the harsh reality. But when their dreams are scattered after being scammed, they are forced to turn to dangerous crime, entangled with the powerful figures in the nighttime entertainment business. So Project Y is receiving favorable reviews for its fast-paced portrayal of the female characters' intense desires, betrayers, and hidden solidarity, breaking the conventions of traditional noir films.
Just by looking at the trailer, one word apart from romance pops up in my mind, which is girl crush.
Right, it is.
I think it's also very based on that
something
powerful
that
girl
I
crush.
don't have for that for sure. So very jealous.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't
Show
have
your
those
girl
like
crush power,
girl crush power.
And I think someone who liked the Han So-hee's My Name, also the Netflix series, they probably interested in these films as well.
And that was actually also viewed by a lot of male watchers. So only that you have like it doesn't mean that if you have female characters who are the main characters that it won't be watched by males either.
Of course, yes.
So yeah, I think that's a good point.
My name film as well. So we've touched upon three series, and also films related to this K-womance. But these days, I feel like the female characters' relationships seem to be portrayed very realistic and also complex ways in content.
Right.
So is this trend kind of reflecting the viewer's emotional or kind of this current social status?
Yeah, I think so. The most notable changes in the relationship between female characters in recent Korean films or series would be independence from the male character, male-centered narratives, and multi-layered solidarity beyond the competitive structures. So it's not like a love triangle. It's their friendship, and they decided to do something together, but there are some like complex relationship and the emotions behind that. So the shift from portraying female characters as supporting figures to portraying them as active and central figures definitely reflects the social changes. So accordingly, the relationship between female characters drive to the core to the work while also depicting realistic situations and complex emotions in more delicate manners. So, and I believe that the evolution of these female characters and their relationships is resonating with the audience both domestically and internationally.
Right. And Professor Z, we are also seeing an increase in the proportion of female writers, female directors, female producers. So this is increasing on the production sets. Do you think that these changes are also influencing the direction and the perspective of the stories themselves?
Right. Of course, I believe that's one of the key reasons that for the the shift in female characters in media. So it's not just the increase in writers or directors or producers of the films or series, but also the discovery of the diverse range of the writers through the new platforms such as webtoons or web novels, leading to the increase in works that bring about the transformation in female stories and characters. So As You Stood By was created by the female writer Kim Hyo-jung, and director is also female, Lee Jung-lim, and the writer of You and Everything Else, Song Hye-jin, is also a woman. And several writers who collaborated together for Project Y included a female writer, Oh Yu-kyung, as well. So I believe that with the increasing participations of female creators and staffs in the media industry, the relationship between women are also being explored in more diverse ways.
So we've talked about this women's content, but this women's narratives are very gaining worldwide attention as well. How do you think Korean women's content will be viewed abroad, and what do you think are some unique aspects of K-womance contents?
Yeah, I think they are unique. So because media contents reflect the times and the society. So recently, Korean series and films have moved beyond the traditional melodrama or family-centered dramas of the past, successfully establishing female narratives in genres. Traditionally, the genres traditionally considers male-dominated genres, such as crime, noir, or thriller, and the office dramas. So this has not only secured the genre diversity, but also broadened the scope of female characters and actresses as well. So in addition, the subject matters are based on realistic issues in Korean society, such as domestic violence, social inequality, and the struggle for survivors as women in the society. So, and I think it draws immersion into the storylines and create the sense of empathy for both domestic and international audiences.
I see. And finally, Professor Ji, do you think that women's contents could become a genre of its own? And if that does happen, will this create a bigger diversity in K-contents from here on?
Honestly, it is hard to say that romance has become a genre in movies and series yet, but because the genre are commonly categorized as a thriller, dramas, romance, comedies, and science fiction, those kind of things. Romance is treated as a specific subject matters or narrative style within the drama genres. So therefore, it's fair to say that romance is effectively established itself as a powerful subgenre or trend. So as romance becomes a significant and independent narrative trend in recent content market, so the importance of female character narratives and female characters is likely to grow even more in the future, I think. In addition, as interest the female-centric works grows, especially in Asian markets, such as the Chinese market, Greater China regions. So I believe that the female-centered content is expected to evolve, and it's female characters in more diverse ways as well.
Now, whether it becomes a genre of its own or not, it is great to see that expansion of many more females working in the content field. And also in broadcasting, just look at the proportion of women we are having today.
Of course.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Ji, for your insights today, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, you too.
And to Bella, thank you as always. We'll see you back here next week.
Yes, I'll see you back next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Hope you have a culture-filled weekend, and maybe with a K-drama or movie. And we'll be back next week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Korea time.